Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Musical People and Journeys, the July shows. When I say shows, let me explain how we would normally do things. Normally, we review about 12 albums over 2 shows, and we do it in a festival style. So, the opening act right through to the kind of headline act, and then myself and my team, we just review or give our personal ratings out of 5. However, what this show is about to do is an edited version of that, of a single album review. So if you just want to listen to a single album review out of the 6, you're just interested in doing one rather than to listen to the Who show, then here's your opportunity. I hope you enjoy it. As I say, it is edited, so therefore there's going to be references to maybe things that were said earlier, and if that intrigues you and you want to listen to the Who show, it's all up on our YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe as well. That would be amazing if you could like and subscribe just to make us feel good. That would be fantastic. I hope you enjoy the format, and keep on rocking, and I hope you enjoy. And so we do move on. As I say, we're getting quite closer now. Oh, we're going to see the smiles on Simon and Will's faces here as we move on to Civil War and Invaders. Well, of course, I'm going to have to start with you, but I'm not going to. Simon, we'll leave you to last, Will. I think you can have the rebuttal. Should there be rebuttals needed? Simon, tell us, Civil War, who the heck are they?
You sure you want to move on to me?
Yeah, because I couldn't get... Look at him, look at his little face. Look, he's dying. He's dying to tell the world, to share his love. Or we could just leave it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I won't spoil that for him. I absolutely love this album. Absolutely cracking album. Very much enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed what they do. I can't pick out a particular song at the moment because I just can't remember them. But I absolutely love what this album did. I really like their style. It's just great fun. So yeah, I could wax lyrical about it all day, but it's the same sentiment. So
do you know who they are?
I might have an idea, but I won't say.
I mean, why not? Have a guess. Who are they?
Do I have to have a guess? Let's have a guess.
Oh, what do you think you know?
I think I might know.
Well,
but I'll keep tight-lipped for now.
Well, let's go to the guru, shall we? Let's go to the fountain of all knowledge in this department, and let's find out who they are. Paul.
Oh, right. I thought it was going to go to Will.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, so 10 years ago, when Civil War was formed by... when guitarist Richard Senden, Oscar Montealias, drummer Michael Muhlbach, and keyboard player Daniel Muir, all founding members of Sabaton, left. Yeah. That's why Will is so excited in his chair. Only Muhlbach and remain, having picked up 2 guitarists along the way and a new vocalist, Kelly Sundown Carpenter, for this album. Carpenter has a Dixon vibe to his voice, especially with the I can't even say it now. End of the world tales of invaders of the previous apocalypse. Apocalyptical.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, apocalyptical tales of invaders and of the pre and post colonized North America continent. But his range is immense. This is power metal on a par with Sabaton. It is well crafted, full of raging guitar solos. The keyboard adds a level of grandeur to the power metal gallop of the rhythm section, and you don't feel it using a drum machine, which is my bugbear about some of these power metal bands. However, tracks are varied, and while I would say more varied than Sabaton, and while Invaders and Battle of Life are standout tracks, Andersonville is a slow track about the capture of a Union soldier and his incarceration in at the prison of war camp in 1864. As a bonus for the 10th anniversary, the band have re-recorded Custer's Last Stand as additional content. However, it isn't a very strong track in my opinion. And while the album is less powerful than last year's album, this year's album by Sabaton, which is probably more thematic, it is not far off in scope and power. But what it lacks in this sense, Invaders more than makes up in the variety of its music, especially for a power metal offering.
Right, okay, let's put him out of his misery then. Trish.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that, really. My opening line was a Swedish power metal band singing about war. Then you're probably thinking about Sabaton. Little did I know that this is the outcome. Civil War, Invaders. Get right into the album with Oblivion, and the album continues its power metal gallop. Invaders is a fine example of modern version power metal. I absolutely loved it.
I think I might know what's coming. So let's move on to the next. No, I'm joking. Will.
You sure you don't want to go first, Nigel?
No,
Yeah,
no,
sure?
no, absolutely not. Will. So you obviously were aware that this band is full of ex-Sabaton members. On a par.
I've known of Civil War for a number of years, listening to them since I think about 2017, 2018 was when I first heard them, and I always thought before they had a big problem where they did just sound like Sabaton 2.0, which is not a problem. But I feel with this album and the sort of newer lineup has sort of helped them distance themselves from that more. They don't sound quite as samey, and they sort of branch out and getting more of a unique sound. But what I'm about to say is not going to help with that, because one of the most recent additions to the band, Torbjorn England, who was former lead guitarist for Sabaton, left Sabaton a few years ago and is now lead guitarist for Civil War, who is also an incredibly talented guitarist. And oh my god, this album was fantastic. Things like Oblivion, Heart of Darkness, Warrior's Soul, there is not a single song that I was not subconsciously finding myself headbanging along to. Oh god, I love them. And it's nice to, obviously, Sabaton, a lot of their songs are more Eurocentric with their theming. And a lot of Civil War, hence the name, is based on more North American history. With obviously Heart of Darkness obviously being based on the story of the same name. And I think Invaders based on the struggle of the Native Americans fighting against the colonization of America in the beginning, which... fun stories. I love heavy metal. Hello. This is good. More, please.
So the question I'm going to ask then to you, in terms of the knowledge that you have, is why have so many people left Sabaton?
A lot of it is they've, and especially with Tob England, he'd been with Sabaton for years and years and wanted to leave to do something different and sort of find their own sound, which is the reason a lot of people have. They want to do something just different, and possibly, the themes. Obviously, they know a lot about American history, North American history, and want to explore themes like that and do their own thing. But I think it was more he left, started doing all the solo things. Don't think it worked out quite as well as he wanted, and was like, oh well.
Go to Civil War.
I know these people already. I'll go.
Perhaps he didn't want to write songs and sing about World War One anymore.
Oh well.
A possibility.
There's a lot of good stories about World War One.
Yeah.
A lot of good history there.
What do I think about it? I think this is a very poor man's Sabaton. I really do. I just yeah, it was okay. It was solid. It was nothing fantastic. The Custard song was bloody awful. I mean, awful. It was just absolutely cliche, poor singing. It was dire. It was just awful. It really, really was. Yes, it was solid enough. Yes, it was okay. It doesn't. I chuckle when you say about finding their own sound. Really? Well, I'm sorry, but this was Sabaton 2.0, all written all over it. Yeah, the songs, the subject matter might well be different, but you cannot compare. You cannot compare the Sabaton album, which was just out of this world, to even put this on the same podium as that. Not even close to the same podium as it. It was just a million miles off it. A million miles off it. I didn't really particularly like the lead singer. I don't think he was fantastic. He was okay, but I just said this is in comparison a very poor man's Sabaton by a long way. You can't even, if you rate this as a 5, right, which you're probably going to do, that means you are rating it alongside the one of the best albums of the year. And for me, this doesn't even come close to it. Not even close to it. But then again, we do rate it based on how we feel about the album in time, and we really probably shouldn't compare against it. But unfortunately, yeah, I do. It was okay. It was nothing special from that side. Certainly better than Terra Nova, by the way. But but yeah, there was a couple of really weak tracks, and I'm particularly, I'm like, if somebody puts a cover in or that sort of stuff, I really hate it. But particularly the Custard song was so dire. It was just Iron Maiden. It was even a poor man's Iron Maiden, from that perspective. But anyway, so let's kind of find out where our kind of ratings are then. So Simon.
I think I'm going to give it a 5.
So you put it alongside the Sabaton album from earlier this year, which was just outstanding.
I didn't get to vote on that one, remember?
Oh, that's a poor excuse, but I'll take it. It's a 5. Paul?
It's a 4 from me.
A 4. Shocker Shock, Trish?
It's a 5 from me.
So you're putting it alongside the Sabaton album, as good as the Sabaton album from earlier this year?
Yeah, but I'm not comparing it to that.
Well, you should do. You should do.
I shouldn't do anything. I do what I want.
I'm joking.
Well, I think I give Sabaton 4 last as well.
Yeah.
For me, Sabaton wouldn't. I couldn't put him on the same pedestal as Volbeat. So
yeah. Will.
Saying if we have to compare this to Sabaton, then every album I review has to be labelled as well. So I need to change all my other album reviews to 1s.
Are you doing an Ian?
No, I mean it's a 5. I love it. That's the problem when you rate something just out of 5, though. See, it's such a small range of numbers, and it's not worthy of being just good with a 4. And a 5 is excellent. It's an excellent album, but it's not as excellent as Sabaton. You see, a 5 is just excellent, 3 is alright, 4 is good, 5 is excellent. Thus, it's not being comparable. It's just
Thank you, Will. I love you, Will.
I just can't. It's a 3 from me. So
it's just a factual.
Yeah, it definitely. I suppose at the time, if you're listening to an album and you can't help yourself compare it, which reduces your enjoyment of that album, then yeah, and I found it because I obviously knew that. Maybe that was the stigma of it, but yeah, no, it was a 3 for me. However, guys, 15, 18, 22 puts it right up there. Congratulations, Civil War and Invaders. You have officially entered into our Hall of Fame. Massively, I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to do a quick calculation to see whether it's beaten Volbeat. I don't think it would have done, but let's have a look. 4.4, no, it's not our top rated album of the year. So but there we go. So anyway, well, how can we follow that?